segmentation. Hello? We went through this slide, remember?
Yes, sir. We look at it.
Yeah. Segmentation methods. Now you know what geographical segmentation is, and demographic, psychographic, behavioral, and I said there's another segmentation called geodemographic. It's a combination of these two. You can see the slides, no?
Yes.
Right. Good. So geographic segmentation is about dividing market based on geographic locations, maybe country-wise, region-wise, state-wise. Like countries like US, India, they have states because the large countries have states, cities, neighborhoods, density-wise, climatic, based on climate. See, if you take, there are cold countries like Russia, in the northern side of the world, and there are countries which are generally warm, like Africa and so on. So then the demographic segmentation, according to the variables, is there are several factors that we take into account, like age. So based on the age, we said population can be divided, like minors, senior citizens, 1+, 2+, 3+, youngers, teens, and so on. Gender-wise, male, female, family size, large families or smaller families, family life cycle we discussed, income, occupation, education, religion, all these, based on all these variables, the market can be segmented. Demographic segmentation is very popular segmentation method for bankers because we have a lot of products which are designed based on demographic variables such as age, gender, and so on. And also we discuss about one segmentation model which is known as GICNAS. It stands for Joint Industry Committee for National Readership Survey. The population was divided into 6 categories based on social grade. Social grade A is the high income, upper middle class. B is the middle class. C1 lower middle class. Then C2 skilled working class. D normal working class, and then working class means unskilled working class. E is those are the lower level of subsistence, just casual type workers, right? So this is one UK classification, and also we discussed about the family life cycle. You remember, there are stages we pass through in our life as a family. Bachelor, we start as a bachelor after we become adults. Then newly married couples without children. Then fullness 1, youngest child under 6. Fullness 2, youngest child over 6. Fullness 2, all the married couples with dependent children. Empty nest. 1, 2, solitary survivor, in work, or retired. You know, these are the 8 stages in the life cycle of a family. And I said during this different stages, your income also goes up and down, and your requirements, your financial needs also be different. So if you know the life cycle, the various requirements in different life cycle stages of a family, then you can target your products and services according to the requirements of each stage of the family life cycle. I hope you are clear on that. Say for example, so when you are in the say fullness 2, fullness 3, fullness 3 is the time families have a lot of expenditure because father and mother working and the children are all schooling, maybe they are in the universities, in the tertiary education, right? And that time there are a lot of so that time education loans, vehicle loans for the children are all be needed, and this may be the emptiness one, maybe the income wise the highest in the family, because the children now not living at home, they are married and gone. Father, mother both maybe working and they are earning. So father and mother may have come to the peak of their career, and that time they might go pilgrimages and go to expensive places to enjoy, and like that. There may be different needs depending on the income. So we have to see what stage of the family life cycle, what needs they have, and what level of income they will have. Even you take a Sri Lankan family, you can imagine how the income level varies. If both the parents are working, there will be a time their income is at the peak, because they come at the peak of their careers in a particular stage of the life cycle. Right, then behavioral segmentation, we discussed that it's based on mostly occasions. Occasion wise, say New Year, Christmas, we said Valentine and all that. Benefit based segmentation. One example we said benefit based segmentation is in the FMCG area. You can take toothpaste as one example. Toothpaste based on the benefits they are marketed. Like toothpaste, one benefit they market is maybe prevent tooth decay. Another one to say to have white teeth. Another one to not to have bad breath. Another one to protect the teeth, right? Protecting the gum, protecting, and also they recommend some toothpaste for sensitive teeth like Sensodyne, and some herbal toothpaste, and various benefits are marketed, are promoted. So depending on the benefits, the products are bought. And psychographic segmentation is based on psychographic variables like lifestyle, motives, we said, mostly credit cards, and VIP banking are promoted on psychographic segmentation methods. So lifestyle, or the spending, high spenders, and people who can spend money and require very high level of service, personalized service. So those are come under psychographic segments, psychographically segmented markets. Right. And we also discuss how McDonald's have segregated or divided their customers based on age and benefits and on combined methods. So geographically, they have certain they have segmented some and selected some markets. Demographically, some markets. Psychographically, some markets, and behaviorally, some markets. So macros have used all about 4 segmentation variables to divide and target some attractive segments. Geodemographic is, as I said, refers to a range of methods used for classifying and characterizing neighborhoods or localities based on the principle that the residents living near each other likely to have similar demographic, socio-economic, and lifestyle. Example I give, say Colombo Havelock City. The residents are can be or likely to be having same levels, maybe professionals or businessmen top level, and who can afford that kind of housing apartment. Take Royal Park, or again maybe some middle level or upper middle level income. But if you take Mategoda or Sidua, this we call that there's a housing scheme, Alvitical flats, right? And those are below income level families living in one location. So we discussed how business markets can be segmented, and we also discussed the requirement for effective segmentation. The segment that you select should be measurable, we should be able to access it, should be large enough and profitable enough, should be unique or differentiable to other segments, and also we should be able to develop effective marketing programs to market products in those segments. And then we went to target marketing, and target marketing is out of number of segments that you have studied. Then you select certain segments as your target market, and you think that in that target markets consist of set of buyers who share common needs or characteristics that the company decides to serve. So how do you target certain segments? Based on size and growth, and the attractiveness are key requirements that you consider. The segment should be sizable, and it should be growing segment, and it should be attractive, structurally, like what level of competition is there, and what are the substitute products already pushed to those segments, and the power of buyers and the suppliers in those segments, and so on. And I said that the target marketing also can be done in several ways. The first method is there's no targeting, called undifferentiated marketing. There's no targeting at all. You focus on the entire market, which we call mass market, right? And then the second targeting method was differentiated marketing, where you consider several segments which are attractive. Concentrated means a niche or focus approach, where 1 or 2 segments are targeted. Micro marketing or mass, you call it mass customization, to targeting individual. We'll also discuss what are the target marketing considerations, and because when you consider a certain market as your target market, you should be able to effectively do your marketing campaigns in that. So your company resources, the type of products, variability that you already have, the product life cycle of your existing products, variability of the market, the competition in the particular segment, all are to be considered. This is about targeting to be done in a socially responsible manner that we discussed. Then we came to the last part of the segmentation and targeting and positioning exercise. So positioning, I said, is the place the product occupies in consumer's mind. We talk about the top of mind recall. If the positioning of your brand is strong, when people have a need to buy a certain product that you sell, your product will be recalled as number one brand by the individual customer. It's called top of mind recall. Say, for example, a person who needs a television, there will be certain brands which comes to his mind, his or her mind first. If a person wants to buy a cellular phone, there are certain brands immediately come into customer's mind, because the brands which has very strong positioning will have a top of mind recall. I hope you are clear on that. We discussed that a lot on, and also we said there are certain positioning. Positioning when you want to position a product, you have to be different from the rest. Then only you will be remembered. No, otherwise, if you are similar to everyone, then you won't be remembered as a different product or different person. So therefore, differentiation is something very necessary to have an effective positioning strategy. So how to differentiate? In terms of what? Product. In terms of product quality, you can differentiate your brands, or brand quality, or product quality. Or you can think of differentiating your products in terms of services, maybe after sales services, support services, consultancy services that you do to make your product different to others, or different to the competing product. The positioning is always against, look at against similar products in the market. Right? The channels. How do you distribute your products? I said one example I gave was Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola can be found anywhere in the country. So it has a very strong distribution or channel mechanism. Right? So that way they are positioned differently, because Coca-Cola, a Coca-Cola bottle can be bought anywhere in the country easily, within everybody's reach. Maybe any other soft drink doesn't have that much of strong channel support. The people, who are the people who are selling the product? I said Singapore Airline were promoting Singapore girls as a key positioning variable. They are different to any other airline staff who are competing with them. The image, the certain brands, based on their image or their the heritage or the existence. There are certain banks in the country who are now celebrating more than 100 years, like Commercial Bank, HNB. They have been in this country more than 100 years. So that itself is a differentiation, because they have been serving this country. So that can be one way to position or differentiate that bank against the new banks which have come to operation in the last maybe few years, or last 10-15 years or 20 years. Now, Unilever is a very old company, has again more than 100 years history in Sri Lanka. So so there are, in addition to, there are maybe various ways to differ. Remember, when you want to position your product, it has to be differentiated from the rest of the competing products. Then only people will remember your brand as a unique brand. And also remember, when you differentiate, that difference should be important to the customer. Otherwise, just saying something that we are different to others by this, if that particular criteria is not, a particular differentiation is not worth to the customer, then it's no point, because then customers will ask, so what? No, whether you are this or that. If it doesn't concern us, then there's no effectiveness in your differentiation point. So therefore, remember, when you differentiate, the differentiation factor should be important to the customer. Say, for example, so we differentiate ourselves with regard to our customer care as against our competitor banks. Then that has a import, because customer will definitely like to be to have a more caring from the bank employees. So like that, it has to be worth to the customer. Your differentiation variable should have some meaning, should be meaningful to the customer or the target market. It should be distinctive, different from the other variables, superior, and you should be able to communicate. So preemptive means you give it beforehand, affordable and profitable. So differentiation variables should have these criteria. Example is, if you take a customer, good customer service is important. It's a distinctive to any other criteria, any other benefit. It's definitely superior. We can communicate that. It's preemptive and it's affordable. And affordable means even you provide superior customer service, you won't charge more. So that comes as extra benefit. And ultimately, your differentiation should have some. It should be profitable to you as well as to the customer. Right. Now, when I was coming today, I thought I heard something, but I don't know whether you are aware of that. Now, People's Bank is now communicating, trying to differentiate their housing loan product, offering a differentiation element. What is the differentiation? People's Bank home loans, I don't know whether BOC also had the same, or NSB had the same thing, but I only hear People's Bank advertisements, advertising in the radio that their housing loans for 5 years, customers can pay only the interest. So during the first 5 years, customer doesn't have to pay any capital. That is a very good differentiation factor or differentiation item or differentiation criteria to be different to the other banks who are offering normal housing loans. These days housing loans are offered at 7%, at a rate of 7%. But People's Bank have gone a little beyond that. They are offering, in addition to lower interest rate, they say, okay, if you are not able to pay or pay a higher installment, pay only the interest during the first 5 years. Don't you think it's attractive? And it's important to the customer, it's distinctive, it's superior, it's communicated in the radios and elsewhere. And from the customer side, it's a huge advantage. Say your salaries, there are executives, young executives who don't have bigger salaries, but maybe after 5 years they should be able to start repayment of capital, paying only. So they have structured the repayment program such a way that first 5 years it's like a grace on the capital. Basically, it's a grace period of 5 years offered to the borrower. Now, so which is unique, I believe, and they position it very attractively in the minds of the customers. So, end of the day, the positioning comes with the value proposition. As we said, the customer should feel some value about the differentiation factor you communicate. Say value proposition is a promise of value to be delivered. It is the primary reason someone should buy from you. Now, to take the same example, why should a customer go to People's Bank or without going to another bank? Because People's Bank housing loan is offered with the unique benefit of 5 years grace period, something like that. So value proposition is that. Value proposition is a promise of value to be delivered, and that is why the customers will come to you without going to any other bank, because they see some value in your offering. In short, value proposition is a clear statement that explains how your product solves problems or improves the current state relevance. Yeah, because it improves your current issue. If you are an executive having a low salary, so initial stage of your housing loan, you can pay a lesser amount as rental. It delivers specific benefit. Of course, it delivers a specific benefit because you pay a low rental at the beginning. Tells the ideal prospect that they should buy from you and not from the competition. Yeah, because of that benefit, they will come to you without buying it from the competition. It's a uniqueness for the differentiation. So that is how you can position a product very strongly against the competition, and you must offer a value that that is meaningful to the customer. You must always come up with a differentiation factor or value proposition which is meaningful in the true sense to the customer. Then only they will embrace your product without going to the competition. Right. So the same thing that we discussed, the act of designing the company's offering and image to occupy a distinctive place in the mind of the target market. Now, how do Domino Pizza is positioned? A hot pizza delivered to your door within 30 minutes of ordering at a moderate price. So then we come to a very important model called answer matrix. I think we discussed this briefly. According to Ansoff, he said a company can grow in different ways, and he said existing products can be sold in existing markets. Existing products can be sold in new markets. New products can be sold in existing markets, and new products can be sold in new markets. So we went through in detail and how this model can be applied to banking sector to increase revenue. And also we discuss these generic theories of competitive strategy or basic competitive strategies of Michael Porter, cost leadership, differentiation, and thing. And then we went into the marketing mix, and under that we started the product. Products, if you take products, so there are, according to Kotler, there are different levels of products. From the initial, the basic product to generic, expected, augmented, and potential. I said if you take a car, initially you have a benefit of traveling, then car come with some specific features, and then expected products mean that certain attributes that you find in a car, and maybe even some branding. And then augmentation is the additional options to differentiate from the rest of the cars in the market. And the potential product is the best a car can offer. Maybe today we are talking of auto parking, sensor-based braking, and all these are pretty high-level options that a new car offers. Right, self autopilot type vehicles. So even banking products now can be in different levels. Now, initially about 10-15 years before, if you take a savings account, we had a basic savings account. But now, savings account is bundled with many benefits. It's connected to maybe housing loan or to credit card facilities, overdraft facilities through connecting to a current account. Various benefits, and it's been now certain savings accounts are now branded, and a lot of quality, a lot of features, a lot of benefits have been added. Right. So what you remember is products over a period of time evolve from basic to or from generic level to augmented or potential levels. As time goes, a particular product will continue to evolve and keep offering more and more than a basic product. So in this case, when the product comes to this stage, these stages, the competition becomes severe. That is why you need to keep adding. Now, if you take in the banking sector, there are all the banks have savings accounts. So how do you differentiate? This is unless you add some new value, new benefits, your product will not be selected by the customers. Now, if you have in the recent past, the commercial bank has promoted a savings account called VIBE, VIBE, for younger or youth savings accounts. With savings account is with the VIBE savings account, there comes personal loans, housing loans, laptop loans, high interest rates on the balance, low rate for the loans. It's connected to a lot of loans facilities, not only to save, but also offering range of other facilities for a specific segment. So they are segmented youth as an attractive target market, and go and design a savings product, and they're trying to position the VIBE account in the minds of the youngsters, minds of the youth. I think age group they are targeted is 18 to 35 or something. Age group 18 to 35. So the requirements of that age group have been well, or financial requirements of that group have been well served by, or rather they are trying to serve it the most effective manner to promote in the VIBE savings account. So there may be other products also that you all in your banks look at. So look at some of these products that are recently launched by your bank. So they are now in the augmented or the potential level. They are not at the basic level. We went through this product and product lines and line filling. We also looked at product lines and product width and product depth. Now take Procter & Gamble. These are different product lines. They are detergent line, toothpaste line, bar soap line, disposable diapers line. It's a width. This is the length and depth. Then we also went into discuss branding, brand equity. In the I said brand equity is something that or the extent to which customers are willing to pay the extra amount that customers are willing to pay for the brand. I said if you when you go to a buy a cellular phone, say you are walking along the Peta Main Street or Fort Main Street, you find cell phones are some unknown cell phones at a certain price, and the adjoining branded phone shop, you have almost phone with similar features at triple or 4 times of the price that you find elsewhere in an unbranded shop. So so that 4 times you don't mind paying because of the knowledge that you have about that brand and the confidence that you have on that brand. So that is called brand equity. So that is how brands make money. Because brand, I said brands reduces perceived risk. Brand reduces perceived risk. For example, when you buy a cell phone, so what are the risks, perceived risks that will come into that you will feel? It's a performance risk, the physical risk, the social risk, ego risk, financial risk, all that you. So when you know a brand has warranties, guarantees, after sales service, refund policies. So that's the advantage of a brand. So we went through this, the most valuable brands, because of the unique, because of the stability of the brand. A brand will have definitely a value attached to it. So Amazon .com or Amazon company have the most valuable brand right now, $220 billion. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Samsung, ICBC, Facebook, Walmart, and a Chinese player in the insurance, finance, Huawei technology. You know, you can see a lot of top brands are mostly technologically or tech brands. That's a banking brand, ICBC, and so on. So brands with strong equity have many competitive advantages. As we said, high consumer awareness, strong brand loyalty, helps when introducing new products, less susceptible to price competition. You know, there are certain brands customers will anyway buy, the price won't matter. So brand positioning, 3 levels of positioning. They are talking about product attributes, benefits, beliefs, and values. So remember, the brand is therefore positioned owing to value, and the values should be, over a period of time, these values become the beliefs. So and they tap into emotions. What does it mean? Emotions mean you really feel very loyal to a particular brand after some time. You when you have a need, you immediately think of and go and grab that brand, because you have strong belief and assurance towards that brand. You have a very positive attitude towards that brand. So that is why a lot of customers buy some specific brands always. But remember, the brand should continue to maintain that, because the product attribute and the benefits, and finally creating positive attitude about the brand in the minds of the customers or the target market. Brand name selection, you said brands should have a good name, easy name to remember. So good brand name suggests something about the product or its benefits, are easy to say, recognize, and remember, are distinctive, extendable, translate well into the languages, can be registered and legally protected. That is how you name brands. Brand sponsorship, I said there are several methods. They are called manufacturer's brand. Now, for example, Unilever, as a manufacturer, they have certain brand. They take Toyota. The Toyota, sorry, not Unilever. They take Toyota. Toyota, even Unilever, Toyota, Honda, everything. They come under manufacturer brands because there's a manufacturer who make that product and sell as the brands. Then private store brands, costly to establish and promote, higher profit margin. Private store brand means, we said the other day, say Cargill's and say Satusa, Keels, they what they do is they buy bulk from certain say FMCG items, and they sell under Cargill's name, say First Choice or Satusa Sini. Cargill's sugar, like that. There may be certain generic products that are marketed under the store's name. Store means the retail store. So if you go to Cargill's or Keels or Satosa or any other, mostly those three retailers, to check. So there are certain items, certain products are sold on under their brand. So that is another way to have brands. Licensed brands, I said, is say McDonald's or KFC. There's a licensing because the brands are owned by US, but they are manufactured here under license. Co-branding is where several companies get together, maybe two companies, maybe like airlines or even some banks. They get together and jointly develop a brand, giving some specific value to the customer. They're called co-branding. So when the brands are developed, it's called line extension. Line extension means you do minor changes to existing products. Say New Lux or Herbal Lux or Gold Lux. So you don't change the make a big change, but you depending on the customer needs, you make some little changes, maybe changes to your ingredients. I said line extensions are mostly based on ingredients or the color or the form, or maybe solid or liquid, right? And so on. Or the package size, economy packs, family pack, and so on. Or sachet, they're called line extension. They are, again, according to the customer requirements, some changes are done to existing. Brand extensions are, brand names are extended. Say Selinco extended its brand name to many areas. Selinco Furniture, Selinco Insurance, Selinco Insurance is the original company. Then Selinco Logistics, Selinco Hotels, and so on. Multi-brands. Unilever is an example for multi-brands. Unilever don't sell brands in the Unilever name. Right? So Unilever, the manufacturer, but their brands names are different. Lux, is separate, individual name. Then Signal, SR, Sunlight, and so on. Yeah, they have different brand names manufactured by the they are sold under different brand names, but manufactured by Unilever. New brands are the brands that are launched as new products. Brands are known through advertising, personal experience, word of mouth, internet. Everyone in the company represents the brand. Companies need to periodically run a brand audit. That I think you know. Brand audit means time to time you must make an audit and see the strengths of the brand, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So periodically you run and you do a brand audit. You will understand there are, because brand has to be with the customer requirements changing, your brand also must change according to, otherwise your brand will be outdated or stale. So to avoid that, you have to keep periodical brand audits or do periodical brand audit and see whether the brand is up to date in terms of the customer needs in the market place. And under product, you have new product development and life cycle strategies. New product development is development of original product improvements, product modifications, and new brands through the firm's own R&D effort. I think we run through this. I said there are stages in the new product development process, from idea generation to screening, idea evaluation, development of product, and commercialization. So idea generation, we went through how you get the ideas internally and externally. Idea screening, concept development of the product, marketing strategy, business analysis, product development, and test marketing and commercialization. So look at some new products that your company or the bank has recently launched, and you can discuss with the product development people as to how they have done it. They would have definitely gone through those stages in the new product development. They have got the ideas from various sources and they have screened it. They have evaluated the business and the marketing aspects, the profitability, ROI, and then develop a total concept from the ideas of various parties, and then finally develop the product and test marketed it, and again made some amendments to the product to suit the customer requirements. And finally, commercialize. Product life cycle. I said product also has a life as per a human being. Product development to introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. So we have gone through this, and we also discussed product class, form, and brand. Say product class, if you take a soft drink, product class is the soft drink. Product form may be Coca-Cola. The Diet Cola, and brand is Diet Dr. Pepper. So this is the broader version, and finally it becomes the brand. This is the Diet Cola's specific brand name. So if you take normal Coca-Cola soft drinks, it's a cola category, and then brand can be Coca-Cola. So three levels from product class to product form and product or the brand. So product development, then introduction stage, you have just launched the product, profits are negative, competition also less. So what are the marketing strategies? That is what is important. At the introduction level, you offer a basic product. Pricing may be cost plus basis. Distribution, build selective distribution. That means distribution is done selectively. Advertising to build awareness among early adopters and dealers. Sales promotion, heavy expenditure to create trial at the introduction stage. In the growth stage, rapidly rising sales, average cost per customer, rising profits. Early adopters are targeted, growing competition. Then at the growth stage, the competition also will start to grow. What are the strategies that you can adopt during that period? Offer product extension, service warranty, price should be penetration pricing. Build intensive distribution means you now with more than being selective, now you can intensify your distribution methods or distribution channels. Advertising, build awareness and interest in the mass market. Sales promotion, reduce expenditure to take advantage of consumer demand. The brand is now known. Maybe you do not spend much on sales promotion because already product has been trialed out by the potential customers. Then the maturity, the sales are peak level, profits are good. What are the marketing strategies at the maturity stage? Diversify brand and models. That's where you come the various brands, brand extensions or brand line extensions to diversify the brand and models. Set to match or beat competition, build more intensive distribution. Now your distribution is very strong all over the country. Advertising, stress brand differences and benefits, and differentiate your brand from the rest. Sales promotion, increase to encourage brand switching. Brand switching means maybe from when your product is now matured, then you come up with the new features or new brands, and then customer can switch from your existing brands to a relaunch or reposition brands. It's called brand switching from one brand to another according to customer requirement. So decline stage, now brand is declining in terms of profit, in terms of sales. So phase out weak item, cut price, use selective distribution again, phase out unprofitable outlets, reduce to level needed to retain hardcore loyalists, reduce to minimum level. So sales promotion. So decline stage, you remember that under BCG also we studied. Under BCG you must either divest product or delete or harvest as much as possible, because now Product is now in the decline stage. Then what another thing that you can do is to reposition the product with new features to help brand switching, new added benefits. That way you can relaunch the product if you believe there's a necessity to do it. All right. So that's the end of tute number 5. So let's start on the tute number 6, which is the pricing. Shall we take a little break of 10-15 minutes? Take on 1 hour from the start. Okay, shall we take a break? 15 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Are you with me? Hello.
Sir.
You can see the tute?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we go to the next P, that is price or pricing of products. So in this session, we'll be identifying and defining the internal factors affecting a firm's pricing decisions, identify and define the external factors affecting pricing decisions, and also contrast the 3 general approaches to setting pricing. So price is the amount of money charged for a product or service or some of the value that consumers exchange for the benefit of having or using the product or service. You know what, in the banking sector, price comes in the form of what? Form of interest and commission, interest and fee. But these are the price price comes in many forms, maybe as rent, the fee or rate, commission, and so on. So monitor customer behavior and tailor prices, called dynamic pricing. Change prices on the fly to adjust the changes in demand or demand or cost. Aid consumers with price comparisons. Negotiate prices online, auctions, and exchanges. The importance of price is, the price is only element to produce revenue in the marketing mix. I have told you the price, all the other pieces are cost. Promotion is a cost, product is a cost, place is a cost, people, processes, all are cost. And price is the most flexible element because you can change it quickly. Common pricing mistakes: reducing prices too quickly to get sales, pricing based on cost, not customer value. These are some of the mistakes that we do. The pricing is something that has to be managed very carefully because it is the only element in the marketing mix to produce revenue. The factors to consider when price is set. So what are the factors? Marketing objectives. Market positioning influences pricing strategy and other pricing objectives. So some companies set prices for survival, and some companies to maximize profit, current profit, and some companies set prices to obtain market leadership. Like penetration pricing, you set an average price and look at more market share. And some companies, product quality leadership, maybe expensive products based on their quality or high quality, the high price is set. So so the price is set depending on your marketing objectives. And also pricing should be carefully coordinated with the other marketing mix elements. Target costing is often used to support product positioning strategies based on price. Non-price positioning can also be used. Pricing is you have to coordinate other marketing mix elements like product, uh, distribution and promotion, people element and all that, because you just can't offer a high price for a product that offer low value, low quality. So low quality product cannot be high price, or high price product has to be of high quality definitely. Otherwise there will be the value and the price equation will not work. So you have to set price according to you have to be mindful about the value that generate by the product before you set the price to the customer. Cost also you need to consider anyway. Cost, cost. There's way to price products which is cost based. Cost is something internal, but which is important. So if you take cost, we have fixed cost and we have variable cost. Maybe for a product there are fixed cost, and there are variable costs which are called consumable. Take a restaurant. If you're selling say burgers, so what are the fixed cost? The burger, the restaurant fixed expenses. Restaurant has to have the building rent, or depreciation, the equipments, staff cost. These are all electricity cost. These are all fixed cost. But variable cost are the material cost, the ingredients that are required to manufacture or produce burgers, the flour, the other oil and all those stuff, the meat, all those are all variable or consumable items. So the variable expenses vary with the production, the level of production, but fixed costs are static. They are anyway there whether you produce or not. These fixed costs are remain. So internal other factor is organizational considerations. Who sets the price? In small companies, the boss will set the price. Large company, there will be divisional or product line managers or pricing committees or pricing departments. Look at external factors. So what are the external factors when setting price that you need to consider? The nature of market and demand, consumer perceptions of price and value, price, demand, leadership. Demand, your product is what is the demand for your product in the market, and whether the product demand vary with the price. So these are the relationships that you need to consider. Price elasticity of demand. What is price elasticity of demand? It is the effect of change in price on the quantity of demand. If you change the price, so for example, if you change the price, what would be the quantity demand? Quantity demanded. In arithmetic terms, price elasticity demand is measured percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Now, for example, if your change in price causes a smaller change in demand, they are called price inelastic products. If the change in price causes a bigger change in demand, they are called price elastic product. So for example, take tobacco or liquor. what will happen? Even there's a change in price, the demand change will be smaller. Anyway, people will drink, right? But if if you increase the price of, say, some food item, general food item, there can be a bigger fall in the demand, because there's a price a person will like to pay. For example, the Coca-Cola bottle is increased by 50%. The people might not drink Coca-Cola because this is a consumable or a soft drink, which is not a inelastic item. But if you take cigarettes or beer or liquor, gas, electricity, with the increase of price, the change of demand will be smaller comparatively to a product other than a product which is elastic, like I said, soft drink or a fast food item or whatever. Because people will react differently for certain products. Now, if you take gas, say, electricity or liquor, are always inelastic because of inelastic nature of this price. Lot of government makes use of that as an advantage. During the budget to increase government revenue, they increase the price of inelastic goods like gas, liquor, and so on. But they know even there's a price increase or tax increase, the demand will not proportionately be lower, and ultimately they can obtain a higher revenue by selling at a high price. So that is the advantage. See, always depending on this, this is the demand curve. The demand curve is so depending on the demand curve, so this price, and so for example, if the demand curve is more steeper, right, then your product become more inelastic, because the change in price will have a small, even you increase the price a lot, your increase in the demand, the reduction of demand will be less. But in this type of demand curve, when you have a small increase in the price, there will be huge change in demand. So this line, if the line is more horizontal, then the product, the demand line is more horizontal. The products are more elastic. If the demand line is more vertical, then the product price is more inelastic. So it's always the change in price as against the quantity demanded. So this is use this elasticity of demand mechanism, or the model, or the principle is usually used when companies set in the prices. Especially the company will have to be very careful when they sell the price upward. There can be impact on the quantity demanded, and subsequently, in turn, your total revenue might get reduced. And factors to consider when setting price. Another factor will be competitors' cost, prices, and offers. So you have to be mindful about the competition also. Consider competitors' cost, prices, and possible reactions. Pricing strategy influences the nature of competition. benchmarking cost against the competition is recommended. So you have to always benchmark your cost. You have to be in par with the competition in order to compete your compete products with the competition. Other environmental elements like they also factors to consider when setting price: economic conditions, government regulations, especially for banks. Now, government is these days increasing or the setting control prices. Price, which is called price control, but I don't know the effect of price control is really working. Maybe for some products it might work, some products it might not work. But finally you will have to understand is there are internal factors like marketing objectives, marketing mix strategies, costs, and organizational considerations you need to consider when setting prices. External factors you need to consider nature of demand and nature of market, and competitor cost and prices and offers, and other environmental elements. Let's look at some approaches to pricing. Cost-based pricing or cost plus pricing you call it. There, what you do is when you set a price, I said there's fixed cost, there's variable cost. What you do is you add a standard markup to the cost and sell. There you ignore the demand and the competition. There you are purely going by the cost base. Popular pricing techniques because it simplifies the pricing process. Price competition may be minimized. It is perceived as more fair to both buyers and sellers. But so it is one way to approach pricing. Say variable cost is 20, fixed cost is 500. So this is how you calculate unit cost. Unit cost is variable cost plus fixed cost divided by unit sales. So when you have general price cost-based pricing, break-even analysis and target price profit pricing. Break-even chart shows total cost and total revenue at different levels of unit volume. The intersection of the total revenue and the total cost curves is the break-even point. Companies wishing to make a profit must exceed break-even volume. So let's see. Break-even. There are things called break-even charts where the one side you have the total revenue line and the total cost, and the point at which total revenue equals total cost is your break-even point. Break-even point is the point where you don't have a loss or profit. You just marginally meet the total cost through your sales. Then beyond that will be your profit. So break-even is, remember always, break-even point is point at which your total revenue equals total cost. Total cost means fixed cost plus variable cost. Total revenue is your unit price into number of units that you sold. The point at which these totals are become equal, that point is called break-even point. when your total revenue is exceeding, say your total revenue is 45, your total cost is 40, then your profit is 5. Then okay. So your total revenue is 30, total cost also 30. That is the point. It's called break-even point. Then the next approach is the value-based pricing. Users, buyers' perceptions of value rather than sellers' cost. So there you don't go by internal, value-based is more external looking approach. Measuring perceived value can be difficult. Customer attitudes towards price and quality have shifted during the last decade. Value pricing at retail level. Everyday low pricing. You know, sometimes value-based pricing at retail level. No, value pricing at retail level sometimes retailers like Walmart, they always say they offer everyday low pricing. So that way they are going to change the perceptions of the customers. The buyers' perceptions are converted or changed in such a way that over a period of time, by promoting everyday low pricing, which they can do because of their size. The Walmart is the largest retailer in the world. Because of their ability to have the economies of scale advantage, they can become a cost leader and offer low pricing than the competition always. So companies like Walmart therefore offer or set value-based pricing based on the users. They are going to change. They have changed the users perceptions of value. The Walmart buyers always think we get everyday low pricing. So they are giving a meaningful benefit to the buyer by offering everyday low pricing. Here the difference is you don't set the products by cost. Going by the cost, you set the price based on the value. Say for example, say a customer don't mind paying say a certain amount of, say for a soft drink, customer wants to pay say $10 maximum or $5. But so maybe your cost may be more than 5 or even equal 5. So there you so sometimes you don't make profit out of that particular item because you go by the buyer's perception. So some products you will be selling at a break-even price, but some products you may sell at a very high margin, and some products at a lower margin. So on the whole, to take the entire revenue, so you have reasonable margin. Even some products you have sold at a break-even price. You know, sometimes you'll know some retailers even sell below the cost. Some products, you know, they are called loss leader approach, where you would have seen in the newspapers they have advertised some products. Actually, they are very much lower than even their product cost. So why they are doing that loss leader pricing? Because they know customers will come to buy products in the stores, and when they come, they will not buy only the low cost products. They will buy products with which they have a high margin also. So loss leader pricing is where some products are even sold below the cost, but through even selling some products at below the cost, you attract more and more customers to the retail shop, and they will buy not only low cost product but also products with a high margin. So end of the day, retailers sales revenue will be increased. So that is one strategy or tactics some retailers use. We have seen Keels and Cargills frequently advertised in the newspapers and through brochures that some products are sold at very low prices. They are sold below the list price, which is called loss leader pricing. The other approach to pricing is competition-based pricing, or called going rate pricing. There you price according to the competitor, according to the competitor's price. The may price at the same level of the competition, above or below. So that again, you go by the competition price, and meaningfully you want to sell at the same level, or sometimes you might even, if your quality can be proven beyond the competitor's product, then you set a higher price than the competition, or lower price if your product is in terms of value is less than the competitor's product value. So three approaches to pricing is: one is cost based, other one is the value based, and competition based. So remember these three approaches. So when you set prices, you look at the cost, you look at the consumer perception, and the competition pricing. Those three are the general pricing approaches. And let's look at how to price new products. So when product is just launched, so companies have two approaches there. One is, especially say if you have launch a low value product, low in price, like maybe a toothpaste or a soft drink or a small FMCG item, a soap, piece of soap, something like that. There you set up price, set a low price for a new product in order to attract large number of buyers and a large market share. So low value FMCG item, you may always look at market penetration pricing method, because there you want to attract large number of customers for FMCG product and have a larger market share. But say Apple phone or iPhone, when they come up with a new product, will they price low? No, they will set a high price to skim maximum revenue layer by layer from segments willing to pay high price. And so these are some price adjustment strategies. Type of discounts: you have cash discount, quantity you offer, trade discount, seasonal, allowances, promotion. These are various type of pricing strategies or tactics that manufacturers do. I said segmented pricing, customer segment by customer segment. Take a salon, I told product form pricing, say Lux liquid as against Lux soap. Location pricing is balcony pricing versus the rear stall or front stall. So various methods. And also we looked at psychological pricing. Without pricing 20, you price at 19.99. Promotional, we looked at this. We discussed this loss leader, special event. All these are some tactics to. So these are temporary pricing products below list price to increase short-term sales. Short-term sales. So these are you won't be doing this for a long period, maybe short period. You do a promotional pricing. Right. So those are that's it with regard to pricing. Then look at marketing channels, the distribution. Know why companies use distribution channels and understand the functions that these channels perform. Learn how channel members interact and how they organize to perform the work of the channel. Know major channel alternatives that are open to company. Comprehend how companies select, motivate, and evaluate channel members. Understand the nature and importance of marketing, logistics, and integrated supply chain management. This is how you look at distribution. Now, if there have been so if we didn't have a store like a retail shop, the customers will have to go to different manufacturers, which is very cumbersome. The manufacturer, customer, distributor. So what happens is all the manufacturers keep their products in the stores, and then the customers will come and buy from the stores. So that is the advantage of a channel. Otherwise, if every customer has to go to each and every manufacturer and buy products, it would have been a very difficult task. So that is how there's a middle person is created who will do the distribution function. The network made up by the company suppliers, distributors, and ultimate customers who partner with each other to improve the performance of the entire system. So, so through a channel, there are two things. One is delivering value, and the delivering the products, the marketing, called marketing channel, set of independent organizations involved in the process of making a product or service available for use or consumption by the consumer or business user. So, so delivery, when you have a network, it will help the entire system. So channels will help. So if you take banking, channels, right? Channel members add value. If you take a banking channel, so what are the channels that are available in today's context? So we have branches, we have ATMs, we have kiosks, we have digital banking units or digital banking songs, maybe attached to the branch or separate in separate locations. Then you have your sales force going and working as channels, and internet banking, online banking, it's another channel. Then exhibitions, promotions at various places. So look at, there are many other than the traditional methods. Now banks have gone and use many new channels to reach the customer. End of the day, the final activity of the final benefit of the channel is it will connect customer and the company, or customer and the bank, right? So this you can keep reading the various advantages and the purposes of channels. Now take for example, in 2006, HSBC started a lifestyle fair. This is a total new channel. Up to then, no other banks had thought of. So they did very successful campaign as a lifestyle fair in BMICH, and then they went to Kandy City Center and did that fair there as well. You know, this where the customers and the bank are getting closer. You know, why did HSBC do this? Because HSBC has very lesser number of branches in Sri Lanka, maybe 10 or 11 or 12 maximum. So in order to market their personal loans or cards or home loans, so they use this method of having a lifestyle fair. They invited various merchants who offer consumer durables and various materials, various goods, durables, and so on to one location, and invited or make an open invitation to people in Sri Lanka. Okay, come to BMICH or come to Kandy City Center and get information about our products and services. All right, and so that's a good platform for HSBC to create the awareness. So it says there were 16 HSBC stalls which brought a range of banking products and services to the fair, including home loans from HSBC, HSBC credit cards, Advantage from HSBC, that is a personal account, children's savings account, zero interest installment plans on purchases with HSBC card, business Vantage solutions, automated channels such as ATM, internet banking, EasyPay facilities, and in addition to lifestyle loans from HSBC. You know, so range of products were combined with the customers through HSBC lifestyle fair. So after this, a lot of banks continued this, and so you will have to understand. So there are traditional methods to reach the customers, and there are non-traditional method. Sometime before, when I was going through Kolpiti Gold Road, I saw this State Mortgage Bank, just head office. I mean, just near NSB head office, Kolpiti. They had put a poster. This happened sometime before. Housing loan clinic. Housing loan clinic. So I was wondering, and I just waited there to see what is happening there. You know, State Mortgage Bank also has only few branches in Colombo, Kandy, and few other places. So they what they said was they make an open invitation to customers in Sri Lanka or potential clients in Sri Lanka, come to a clinic and get your forms, get your information for housing loan facility. Housing loan clinic. Like a medical clinic, they had a housing loan clinic. They had posters and banners in Kolpiti's area giving awareness to that event that time. It happened about 4 or 5 years before. But I can still remember, as a bank which has lower number of branches, they use that method to connect to many customers. Now, for example, can you imagine HSBC Lifestyle Fair attracts over 14,000 customers within 2 days, July 1st and 2nd. You know, see amount of visibility they have got through this method. 12,000 customers, potential customers within 2 days, 7,000 per day average. Sometime before, Ceylon Bank had a method to deliver money to home. Deliver money. එතර සිටින ඔබේ නෑ හිතමිතුරන් එවන මුදල් සැනකින් අපි ඔබේ ගෙදරටම ගෙනත් දෙන්න. You know, the advantage there is the customer, the recipient doesn't have to go to customer centers or the branches and have the hassle of being wasting time. Here you have advantage to the bank coming to your doorstep. They call that service cash to home. I don't know whether they have it now. Especially for Middle Eastern remittances, they provide this service to doorstep level. And this is again a very innovative thing HSBC did. They linked up with selected post offices in Sri Lanka to deliver their products to customers around Sri Lanka. HSBC, Danobe, the Palkanto wrote it. It's another distribution, very innovative distribution method they use by linking up with post offices. It's a unique channel, non-traditional, not through branches, but through government local post offices. Another known channel is ATM. You know, ATMs, and you can know CDMs. You have now. These are all new channels. Whilst understanding what distribution is, but try to collect some information as to how today the banks get connected to the customers to deliver services through ATM, through kiosks, through CDM machines like digital zones. All these are maybe loan fairs, loan or exhibitions. And mobile phones also now become a very attractive channel, checking balance, transfer funds, view statements, and even paying bills. Right? Although they don't have certain things like personalized bank offering, loan management, insurance management. There are, but these things will also will come eventually through internet, through mobile banking, because everyone has a phone with him or her today, and you can reach bank or connect to the bank and make payments and check balances and do various banking transactions easily. And the banks have today even gone and done some outsourcing of their services, especially the marketing functions, the marketing and even selling function through the agents, the company outsourcer. So there are agreements between two parties, and we have seen HSBC mostly use these outsource companies to market their products. These outsource companies are paid based on the business they canvas. So outsourcing denotes the continuous procurement of service from a third party making use of highly integrated processes, organization models, and information systems. Because when you outsource, the advantage is you can have a bigger and broader reach, because your internal resources may not be sufficient. Your sales force may be a smaller, but you can outsource your selling function to companies who will have a bigger sales force to market your products. So outsourcing is described. And also outsourcing will reduce your cost, and you have your time to focus on your core business and improve quality. And through outsourced companies, you can increase speed to the market and conserve your capital, and even foster innovation. So cost reduction is huge, and also 36% benefit with regard to focus on your core. Because when you outsource, now today a lot of banks have outsourced many functions, not only marketing, but also human resource, accounts, legal, cleaning, security. All that. Marketing in digital stage. Be able to identify, this is another channel. Be able to identify the major forces shaping the new digital age. Understand how companies have responded to the internet with e-business strategies. Be able to describe the 4 major e-commerce domains. Understand how companies use e-commerce to profitably deliver greater value to customers. Realize the promise and challenges that e-commerce present for the future. Major forces shaping the digital age: digitalization and connectivity. The flow of digital information requires connectivity, intranet, extranet, and internet. Key driver of digital stage: using the web to find information on, A lot of banks are talking about digitalizing their service. Digitalization is a keyword in all annual reports in the recent past because it has a lot of benefits and save a lot of cost. So what is e-business? E-businesses use electronic means and platforms to conduct business. E-commerce is buying and selling process supported by electronic means. So e-commerce is basically e-business, but you define it because at the end of the day, buying and selling is your business through electronic means. E-marketing includes efforts that inform, communicate, promote, and sell products and services over the internet. So e-commerce benefits both buyers and sellers. Yes, of course. The benefits to the buyers through e-commerce is the buyers will have a convenient way to buy, easy and private, greater product access, selection, access to comparative information, interactive and immediate. So as a buyer, when you buy a product on internet or e-commerce, these are the benefits that you have as a buyer. The seller, the relationship building, reduce cost, increase speed and efficiency, flexibility, global access, global reach. So not only local person can sell their products locally, but also overseas through the e-commerce, and you can increase relationships because you have the data, you have data analysis, you can assess information. So a lot of benefits are there. You can use analytics to find various information, various relationships with regard to your suppliers or your buyers and so on. And because it's in a IT platform, you have the access to information easily than in a manual system. So Sri Lanka is experiencing growing demand for reliable e-commerce websites. Through websites, a lot of companies sell their products. While Southeast Asia is forecast to become the third largest e-commerce market globally, as it is clearly visible that there are many new entrants into e-commerce industry in Sri Lanka. There's a site called Alexa, which ranked the websites based on its performance. So number one website according to Alexa rating or ranking is Ikman, and then Wow, again the Dialog company, owned by Dialog, MyDeal, Takas, MyStore, Daraz, Kaproka, Wish, Urban.lk, Click and Shop, My Shop. So these are the top 11 websites in Sri Lanka in regard to e-commerce. Because website will give various type of benefits. One is it will be information. There will be information for you to gather, and there will be not only information. There will be you can do some transactions. You can make request. You can order online, and also the final stage is you can pay online through a website called payment, through a payment gateway. So information, transaction, and payment. all the three functions can be now completed over the net. So now, for example, now if you buy something through wow.lk, you have information about the product, you can order and you can pay through wow. So all these companies have a payment gateway method in the site for customers to pay online and receive the product. Now, for example, now eBay, many of you will be buying products through eBay. You search the product, you get information about the product, and you can order it, and you can pay through a credit card as well. You know, presentation, information, transaction, and payment all can be. So for a website to be fully completed, it should be able. It should provide all these three functions: the information, presentation, and ordering, transaction ordering, transaction completion ability, plus payment gateway. So there are different e-commerce domains, you call it. Consumer, or the most famous one is business to customer. Business to customer is by business targeting the consumers. Then B2B, business targeting another business. Then customer to customer and customer to business. So these are the four domains, but most popular today are these three: B2B, B2C, and C2C. And C2B also is possible because you as a customer, you sell products to a overseas company. Maybe you export. That is C2B. C2C is you find a individual customer, you sell product. As individuals, you can sell to individuals. As individuals, you can sell to organizations. As business, you can sell to individuals. As business, you can sell to business. So these are the four domains that that you can that you have. So let's see B2C. B2C is most common. Businesses are selling products to individual customers online basis. Then B2B is companies selling business. So business organization selling to another business organization. B2. C2C is mostly the customer to customer. You know, eBay is mostly, you know, you buy from sometimes individual customers, sometimes some shops. Again, customer to customer. Now there are certain blogs like sometimes you might not have commercial transactions, but there are information are shared. Allow interchanges of information for special interest group. They are called blogs, right? But eBay is a commercial online shop where you can buy goods online. The Sri Lanka Equity Forum is one example where people who are doing share trading on the CSC, they share information about various stocks. Individual investors make comments and they share that information. And C2B, customers connect to business. They have information on the Ikman.lk, maybe customer to car sale as a business. Then customer having had that information. Ikman can be C2C or C2B both, because sometimes in the Ikman you can buy a individual customer's vehicle, and same time you can buy a vehicle from a car sale as well. So C2B allows consumers to search out sellers, learn about offers, initiate purchases, or dictate purchase terms. So these are some of the things that you read and understand, right? Then we'll have our last tute on the tute number 6, pricing products. Then we come to the tute number 7. Today. Tip number 7, another P, which is promotion, right? Promotion as a another P that we have now studied about the product. We have studied the price and the place. The other P, another P in the marketing mix is the promotion or the communication, which we promotion is also called integrated marketing strategy, IMC. IMC stand for integrated marketing communications. So learning goals: know the tools of marketing communications mix, understand the process and advantages of integrated marketing communications, learn the steps in developing effective marketing communications, understand methods for setting promotional budgets and the factors that affect the design of the promotion mix. So let's see what is marketing communication mix. The specific mix of advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, direct marketing, and public relations a company uses to pursue its advertising and marketing objectives. Marketing communication mix is a set of tools such as advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, direct marketing, and public relations. Here all these mix elements are used to communicate. Communicate what? Communicate about the products and services and achieve the marketing objective. So advertise, integrated marketing communication therefore comprise of several tools, separate tools like advertising to direct marketing. And in addition to those 5 key, these are the 5 key marketing mix tools. But in addition to that, there are other tools as well. In addition to those 5 tools, there are social media, trade shows, web based things, special media. So all these are used by organizations to communicate a message to the customer. So IMC is therefore an approach to achieving the objectives of a marketing strategy through a well-coordinated use of different promotional methods that are intended to reinforce each other. So what does it mean? So every tool have to reinforce each other. That means your advertising efforts to be strengthened from your personal selling and sales promotions. So they all to be properly blended to create a unique message to the end customer. They have to be blended. That's why we call integration. Integration is you combine all together to give one strong message to the customer. So integrated marketing communication environment is changing. You know, the marketing communication environment is changing today than what it was about few years before. Mass markets are fragmented, causing marketers to shift away from mass marketing to target marketing. Improvements in information technology are facilitating segmentation. Media fragmentation has occurred with companies doing less broadcasting and more narrowcasting. So media fragmentation is what? Media fragmentation is now that even now is the market is fragmented, and media also now to be fragmented, because otherwise because it means that uh, there are a large number of methods to reach customers now. It's not very simple. It's very complex. Say if you take today, how many radio channels? More than local radio channels, more than, in addition to foreign channels, more than 75. Radio, it's a national and private, locally owned, locally operated channels. And TVs or local other than foreign channels, more than 35. National Sri Lankan channels, more than 35. And newspapers, including special interest magazines like Rave Sarasaviya, newspapers also more than 40. All right? More than 40. More than 40 channels. That is why it's called media stripe. So when you want to advertise, you don't know in which channel, which radio channel that you going to use, which TV channel you want to use. So unless you have a very good idea about what channel I have to use, you'll be wasting money. So that is what is called media fragmentation. Due to narrow casting is you. So earlier we had broadcasting to a common market. Now market is fragmented, and as a result, the media also has fragmented, and therefore the communication job has become very complicated. So media fragmentation describes further a trend to increasing choice and consumption of a range of media in terms of different channels such as web, mobile, and also within channels. For example, more TV channels, radio stations, magazines, more websites. Media fragmentation implies increased difficulty in reaching target audience. To see fragmentation as a positive, the benefit of it brings, we need to be viewed through a different lens. We now have access to smaller, more defined groups of consumers. Content is becoming more aligned to people's specific passions if you spend the time defining your target audience properly, it means you can have more relevant conversation within the right environment. We can now reach our customers via a number of channels anchored around the same relevant content, increasing effectiveness. If you get it right, there will be less wastage. The result is forcing marketers and their agencies to become more disciplined. That is the what you understand here is no the media fragmentation as a positive, as given some positives also, because uh, the customer needs are changing, customer preferences are different, customer needs become different from customer to customer. There are a lot of complex. It's very difficult to understand customers and customer requirements. And so one channel, one media is not able to reach everyone. People have different now lifestyles, different behaviors. To suit all these, you can't have one medium. There will be several mediums, several approaches, several media to reach them. So if you don't really use the most appropriate media to reach the customer, you'll be wasting your money. So that is why it's mostly now media scheduling is done by professional agencies. We cannot do it because we don't have the knowledge as bankers. So what we retain professional agencies to schedule our media plans. That means they will schedule in which media or product is communicated, which TV channel, what time, which newspaper, uh, uh, which date or which page of the newspaper, what radio, what time, when, peak, off peak, morning, evening, daytime, night time. So depending on the audience and the audience, how audience react and connect to this media, you will have to communicate to them so that your reach will be more and you will have a higher impact on your spending. Otherwise, you use the wrong media, you are wasting your money and your message will not reach the target audience that you want to reach. So that is the difficulty that you have. Marketing spending plans, even in the recent times, marketing spending now, there are a lot of money being now spent on email marketing, social media, online display advertising, mobile marketing. Whereas but some medium have reduced, like print advertising has reduced 23.4% gradually compared to the radio television has also reduced. But so increasing spend, now if you take radio television, so decreasing spend is in some companies 10.9 and some companies have increased their spending on that also. But overall, if you see, decreasing spending is very, very low in email marketing, social media, online display, mobile marketing, and so on. There's a there's a pattern of higher spending on these methods. Based on survey, 295 global business leaders, 72% of whom are with companies headquarters in North America. This research has been done, study has been done in America. So 59% increase in email marketing, 56% social media. So more money is now spent in these media than traditional media, because companies think through these media, the target audience can be reached more effectively, right? So that's the learning. So I've taken 1 hour after lunch. Can you take a small break? Hello?
Okay, sir.
Okay, we'll take a 10 minutes break. Right, thank you. Hello, yes? We are back?
Yes, sir.
Right, good. So let's see some more statistics. Activities conducted by US internet users while watching live primetime TV and commercials. February, while watching live primetime TV and commercials, this is now another thing. Now sometimes even you advertise something in the television, even they watch television, while watching they do some other activity as well. So there's a probability of your advertisement is not seen by the viewer, even the television is on. And also with the remote kind of thing, and you can change swap channels. When there's advertisement in the channel, they swap it to another channel and another channel like that. So this our intention as marketers is why we put advertisement in the television. That is to for customers to see. But when there's a advertisement, they will swap the channel to another. So now see, now whilst watching, they have been checking mails during a commercial, right, or TV show. Check email. About 82% people are checking email while watching TV. 71% is using phone, social media, whilst watching TV. Sending texts, pictures, and call someone watching TV, 43%. General internet searching, 37%. While they are Googling, they are watching TV. Shop online, 28%, like that. So there are various activities they do while watching live primetime TV and commercials. So this is the real challenge that we have. So it's very difficult for us to judge whether our advertisements are seen by them really. The first thing we want is to for them to see it. No, first thing is they must see the advertisement. Then only they can come to some conclusion. But it's been very difficult because of the media fragmentation is so intense. So there are many things that keep customers engaged. Need for integrated marketing communication. Conflicting messages from different sources, so promotional approaches can confuse company or brand images. The problem is particularly relevant prevalent when functional specialists handle individual forms of marketing communication independently. So in some companies, SME department people do SME communications. Personal banking staff do personal banking communications. No, that is a problem. So you have to have one without different individuals doing marketing communications in an organization. What is recommended is to have one marketing communication division to take over all the communications of product divisions or service divisions. Because end of the day, when a product is advertised, the company is also being advertised. There's a effect on the company brand as well, in addition to the product brand. So therefore, there has to be integration between your advertising, especially when you have several divisions doing different ways of advertising through different agencies. The integrated communication might not happen. That integration is something that we must always focus and do. The internet must be integrated into broader IMC mix. Best bit is to wed traditional branding efforts with the interactivity and service capabilities of online. So offline, online, both will have to be integrated, combined. We have some amount of offline communications like TV, radio, and newspapers. And on the other side, you have Facebook and other online social media or website methods. So what is recommended is to combine online, offline, both together and give one message. The concept under which a company carefully integrates and coordinates its many communications channels to deliver clear, consistent, and compelling message about the organization and its products. So ultimately, how you define IMC, integrated marketing communication, is the concept under which a company carefully integrates and coordinates its many communications channels to deliver a clear, consistent, a compelling message about the organization and its products and services. So communication process. Communications effect should be viewed from the perspective of managing customer relationships over time. The communication process begins with an audit of all potential contacts a customer might have with the brand. Effective communication requires knowledge of how communication works. Developing the communication strategy. Now, when you want to communicate something to a customer, remember there are several things that are to be taken into consideration. They are all starting with M. So there are 5 M's we are talking of: the mission, the money, message, media, and measurement. So at the start you have as your mission, you have sales objectives and advertising objectives. That's what you begin with, no? So what is your so you spending money. So you have to look at when you spend money, you look at stage of the PLC, market share, competition, and the advertising frequency. All these are, so depending on this, you have to spend money. If the, for example, if the stage of life cycle is growth stage, then you have to growth and introduction level, you'll have to definitely put a lot of money, because product awareness has to be increased as much as possible at the introductory level. Otherwise, people won't know. And the market share, if the market share is smaller, to get a bigger market share, you need to put a lot of bigger budgets for that. When the competition share of voice is bigger, your share of voice has to be also increased. Then you need more money. And the advertising frequency is how often you advertise, whether you do monthly basis or daily basis or weekly basis or bi-annual. So the more your frequency, the shorter your frequency is better, because then customer will continue to hear your company's voice. The message that you deliver, message generation, message evaluation, and message execution, the advertising message, what you say. The media, the reach and frequency. The reach means how many customers you want to reach, how many millions out of your target audience, what percentage. Say you are talking to minors, your product is minor savings accounts, then you have a target audience of say 2 million school children in the country, or maybe more than that. So you must find a way to reach at least 70-80% of that population through different media. Frequencies, how often you advertise. You advertise it weekly basis or monthly. How often the customer, the potential customer, can see your message through the media, through television or TV or whatever, or radio or whatever. Major media types. Major media types are TV, radio, and print. Specific media vehicles. Specific media vehicles can be anything, like maybe magazines or certain specific channels, specific newspapers, specific whatever specific methods. Media timing is how you schedule your media plan, what the dates and the period and so on. Geographical media allocation. Again, say if you want to have more intensive communications in Western Province, so Western Province channels, you use more. If it is a national level, equally you want to do it, then you look at national level channels. If it is geographically, say you want to advertise in the northern side or southern side, you can use various channels which are more prominent in those areas. See, there are radio channels, TV channels operating in the north and south and Rajarata, So depending on the locality or the province, geographical area, there are special media channels that you can use. The measurement, the final M is measurement, where you have to check whether you have been able to communicate effectively, and either improvement in your sales. So communication effectiveness as well as your achievement of sales target. I hope you are clear on this. This is the framework of developing a communication strategy for your company. Right? So, so let's see some further details on this. So, in a communication strategy, what is mostly important is to identify the target audience, to whom you want to communicate. Because otherwise, if you don't know the target audience, what you tell, how you tell, when you tell, and who will say it, and where the message will be said. All those will have to be dependent on the target audience. Say, for example, if you are taking the same example, if you are targeting school children, what was going to be your message and how you are going to do it? You go to schools and do it, or through the school units you do it? When are you doing it? You have to do it when schools are open. And who will do it? Maybe some bank employees or some other acceptable person giving the message, and so on. So identify in target audience is a key thing in your communication strategy. So determining communication objectives. Sometimes when you want to communicate, so there are your target audience be in different levels of readiness. We call it different levels of knowledge. For example, some people just aware of the product. Some people have not only aware, but they have some knowledge of the product. Some people are aware of the product, they have some knowledge, and they have a liking towards the product also. But that's all. But same time, there are some people who like and they prefer the product, prefer your product as well. And also some people they prefer, and also they are convinced, their conviction is to buy the product. That means you next stage will be the purchase of the product. So the 6 buyer's readiness stages are important. This is the basic level, just aware of the product. There are some customers in this stage. There are some customers who have come to this level. There are some customers, potential, your target market has come to this level and this level and this level. So to complete the purchase, your potential customer may have reached these 5 levels gradually. So depending on the communication objective and which readiness stage you call it, the customer is, your message will have to be designed in such a way. Say awareness level, you design a message which is a general information, and here more deeper information about the product. Liking, you have to differentiate, and preference, you have to customer should be able to evaluate. And you remember that buying process, so it has a connection to this, because you not only you don't purchase unless you are really convinced or have a conviction to buy. For that, you have to prefer your product. They have to prefer your product among other products, and liking towards your product is also important to take the decision. End of the day, the customer should be convinced to buy your product through the knowledge he has gathered. He would have liked your product and prefer your product. So through the communication, we have to take the customer to that higher level of conviction. So then there's no other option. The customer is now is convinced to buy your product through the knowledge and the liking he has received through the communication. The communication, without communication, customer will not have any conviction, no, because he doesn't know about the product. Without knowing, without a knowledge, you cannot like anything, because it's a human nature. If you like product, like its features and benefits, only you will prefer to buy it. So when you design the message, IDA framework guides message design. You know what is IDA? AIDA is A for attention, I for interest, D for desire, and A for action. Attention, interest, desire, action. So through advertisement message, what you first do is you create or grab the attention and create interest in the customer's mind about your product and desire towards the product, liking towards the product, and finally the action. So IDA framework, you must remember: attention, grabbing the attention, interest, thereafter, and desire to buy. Action is the finally decision to buy, decide to buy. So message content contains appeal or themes designed to produce desired results. So there are different appeals can come in a message. The rational means the rational, irrational, logical appeals. The message may be with a logical appeal. Why should you buy this? That's a rational appeal. So you make and convince the customer to buy your product because your product is the best. It's more rational and logical. Emotional appeals. Emotional appeal is with regard to your emotions. Your ads are maybe to do with love, pride, joy, and so on. Moral appeals is a message, maybe some say message on polio or message on use of smoking and consumption of liquor. So there are moral appeals in your message. So designing a message structure, key decisions are required with respect to three message structure. Whether or not to draw a conclusion, one-sided versus two-sided argument, or order of argument presentation. This is about how you design the message format, design layout, copy, color, shape, movement, word, sound, voice. Choosing media is something that very carefully do. Personal communication channels, face-to-face, phone, mail, internet, word of mouth. Buzz marketing cultivates open opinion leaders. Non-personal communication channels includes media, atmosphere, outdoor environment. There are various methods you can use: traditional, non-traditional. Word of mouth is mostly the buzz marketing. Is one like viral, one person to another, customer endorsing your product. This some outdoor. Buses are used as advertising channels. So DBS Bank is a bank in Singapore. DBS Banking Corporation. They advertise. Do their corporate advertising on the using bus as a billboard platform. HSBC again use a lot of outdoor billboards type platforms. Bus marketing is word of mouth marketing, and it creates hype among consumers. Bus marketing is word of mouth. Right? So, and the another challenge we have is the advertising that we do. How credible those advertising is the question. So there are certain media some people don't believe. So according to research, some research done in 2007, right? Types of advertising trusted by internet users worldwide. The most trusted method of advertising is recommendation from consumers. That is actually buzz marketing or word of mouth. So word of mouth has a credibility of 78%. Imagine the value of word of mouth. When a customer says good about your company to another, the other person will believe, and it is to a level of 78%. But you know, online banner ads has only 26% credibility or believability or trust. Search engine ads 34%. Ads before movies 38. Email sign up 49. Brand sponsorship, radio 54. Magazine 56. TV 56. Brand website 60. Consumer opinion and poster online. See, it also has a huge credibility. Newspapers are believed to some extent. I don't know why. Even today, context you can't even believe newspapers also. But these are anyway in 2007. Some research done by Nielsen Company. These are research data. So you can check on the internet. Are there any other recent surveys done with regard to advertising credibility? These are some of the things done sometime before, about 10-15 years before. Americans trust in the mass media. In general, how much trust and confidence do you have in the mass media? Mass media means television, radio and newspapers, I say, such as newspapers, TV and radios. When it comes to reporting the news fully, accurately and fairly, a great deal, a fair amount, not very much or none at all. You know, over the years, the a great deal, a fair amount, not very much, none at all. You know, the trust has reduced over the years from 53% to 32%. So that is the situation. So the people believing in, because mass people don't trust mass media. Even that is clear in this as well. Word of mouth is what people say about a brand or choice. People tend to believe in their contacts rather than advertising. Yes, we all believe what our friends say than advertising. They are not paid, no, they receive any incentive for spreading the word. Yeah. So what our friends say, they are not paid to do it, no. So they are more genuine in giving the message. Best industries for connecting customers and companies on social media, the retailers. The retailers are the one who use social media to a great extent, 52%. Cell phone providers, 13%, social media. Cable phone internet companies, 13. Banks, interesting, only 11%. Maybe, I don't know when this data, maybe some old data. Now actually a lot of banks use social media also. Maybe more than 11%. But retailers, right? Retailers are the one who mostly use social media for connecting customers. So by 2016, global monthly active users for top social platforms. So Facebook had about 1.6 billion. Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. Active users. So finally, the selecting message source, how credible source are more persuasive, postman can tarnish the brand. Selecting the, I've seen some messages, sometimes the message is given by a celebrity or a respected person in the market or in the society. That's important, because the credibility of the person who gives the message also important, or help to endorse your message. At the same time, a poor spokesman can tarnish the brand. Finally, the collection, feedback, recognition, recall, and behavioral measures are assessed, may suggest changes in product promotion. So these are the steps that when you want to make effective communication strategy, be able to so starting from identifying the target audience, then determine your what do you want to communicate, and what readiness level your customers are, then the designing a message, then using the media, explain, and then selecting the message source, who is going to speak on behalf of your company, and the feedback. Setting an overall promotional mix determined by the nature and each promotion tool and the selected promotion mix strategy. So promotional mix, let's look at one by one these tools, what these tools are. So advertising is the first tool that we talk about in the promotional mix or communication mix. Advertising is the tool that we speak first. So what are the features of advertising? It reaches large, geographically dispersed audiences, often with high frequency. Advertising through, say, television or newspapers reach a large audience geographically, because newspapers going everywhere, TV are seen everywhere. Low cost per exposure, yes, because when you advertising the news or in a TV, millions of people see, so per exposure is still low. Consumers, although overall cost, TV cost is high, but this reaches millions of people, per exposure cost will be less. Consumers perceive advertised goods are more legitimate. Dramatizes company brand, builds brand image, may stimulate short-term sales. Impersonal, one-way communication. So advertising is a one-way communication. Remember, you just say something. Any paid, so advertising is defined as any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified sponsor, that means a manufacturer. It's a paid form of non-personal presentation. Remember, it's not a personal presentation, it's a non-personal, because you go through television or newspapers and so on. It's a Coca-Cola ad in 1890s. So Coca-Cola is more than 100 years. So advertising is a form of communication for marketing and used to encourage, persuade, or manipulate an audience, viewers, readers, or listeners, sometimes specific group, to continue to take some new action. The word advertising comes from the Latin word advertere. That means to turn the mind toward the product. So advertising objectives can be classified by primary purpose. So advertising is used to inform. At the introductory level, you inform, you give the information, provide information, persuade, become more important as competition increases compared to advertising, because in the product life cycle, in the growth stage, you have to persuade customers to buy. More important for mature products, remind. At the maturity level, you do advertising more reminding type. Product is now years of age, but you keep reminding. Differentiate, highlight key strengths. Differentiation also comes at the maturity level of the product life cycle. You have to differentiate your product from the rest at the growth and the maturity level. You're reminding advertising, even Lux and all, Sunlight, still they do advertising to remind customers about goodness of Lux, usefulness of Sunlight. Right? So reminding advertising, just to keep the brand alive. Otherwise, people will forget. So advertising is therefore have a different is used for different purpose, to inform the customer through a message, persuade customer through messages, reminding the customer, and differentiating your product from the rest. And setting the advertising budget. Again, I think we discussed this stage in the life cycle, the market share, level of product, level of competition, ad clutter, degree of brand differentiation. So when your product has a clean walk, there's no budget needed, but depending on the situation, the environment, which level, which stage of the life cycle your product is in, what level of market share your product has, what is the competition level. Ad clutter means there are other advertised subordinate substitute products, and so on. So if your product is, depending what level is your product with regard to this, in what stage, then your budget will have to be changed. So there are methods to set budget. Setting the promotional budget. One is affordability method. Budget is set at a level that company can afford. Say a smaller company has, for example, the big boss says, okay, this year we spend 1 million for advertising. That's all. So that's the budget. This year we'll spend 1 million. That's all. So within 1 million, you have to play how much you are going to spend. That's going to be your marketing or promotional budget. Affordability method. That is what we can afford. The second method is percentage of sales. Say you are making, say, 1 or 10 million sales during the year. So you will say, okay, we will allocate 5% of annual sales as our marketing budget. 5%. So out of 10 million, how much is 5%? Say about 5% is about from 10 million. It's about 100,000, right? For the 10 million, right? Sorry, not 100,000, 500,000, right? Percentage of sales method, depending on the sales volume, right? Comparative parity method is depending on the how much competitors budget, you decide your budget. Competitor parity is now say, so you are competing with another similar size organization. They have for the year 500,000 they are spending as marketing budget. Then you matches competitor budget to compete equally. The fourth method is objective and task method. This is the most logical method. Specific objectives are defined. Tasks required to achieve objectives are determined. Cost of performing tasks are estimated. Then sum to create the promotional budget. Most recommended method for setting a budget. So under objective and task method, all the activities that you want to do during the year, the marketing activities, they are individually, the cost of each activity is measured, determined, estimated, and then total of those activities cost is taken as the budget. There is a more logical, more acceptable recommended method than these three. Affordable method is good for smaller companies. Percentage of sales also have some weaknesses because you don't know this year. Just going by the sales figure might not be very much appropriate. Going by the competition also will not be the most, but most logical method is to list number of activities that you want to do to promote your product, push your product, and what are the marketing campaigns you are going to do, and what is the cost of each campaign, and the total of all these costs going to be your marketing or promotional budget. So creative challenges. So advertising clutter, message strategy, message execution, tone, format, illustration. Then when you design a message, there's creativity element. Some ads are very creative. Some ads are just boring. Some ads are hilarious. You don't see any meaning of it. So again, a professional agency will come in and based on your requirement, a message will be a suitable message will have to be executed to be more effective. Now see this one, the print ad. So in a print ad, there's thing called headline, the upper message, the ultimate quick fix. The copy is the details that you give after the visuals. Illustration is the visual that you show, the shoe, the picture of shoe. And signature is the details about the brand, about the company. So in a printed, remember there are 4 components that you need to know. Headline of a printed, illustration, the visuals, then the copy, the message in words, and finally the signature is the company brand and the logo details. And when you execute a message, so there are different execution styles. Slice of life. Slice of life means your life, day-to-day life stories are captured, like housewife, what they do during day-to-day work. You will see a lot of detergent ads, a lot of milk powder ads, all come as slice of life, day-to-day happenings at home. I'll show you a few ads, lifestyle, fantasies, moods, testimonials by professionals, celebrities, and so on. Musical, personality symbol, some well-known person is endorsing. We'll give some example. Technical expertise, a doctor endorsing something based on some scientific evidence. Your message is done. Moral appeal, good or bad appeals. Say, so these are some of these, right? Celebrity advertising, the endorsement, according to now here, testimonial evidence is celebrity advertising. Popular people endorsing certain products, mostly some Indian products are endorsed by popular Indian. Now ICICI Bank endorsed by popular people, popular actors. Certain body creams, or facial, and certain ladies products are endorsed by famous actresses. A lot of electronics and soft drinks are endorsed by Amir Khan, a popular actor. Again, celebrity endorsement. Sangakkar endorsing some NTB products. And this is a moral appeal. This is actually appeal that creates fear. The mood or image. Yeah, moral. Yeah, it comes here, the mood or image, right? So you have fear. I won't wear a helmet. It makes me look stupid. It shows the damage it can cause of not wearing a helmet. These are again creating fear appeal. The advertisement can create joy, fear, and so on, humor, and so on. Smoking can kill you, right? Through fear, the message is going to be embarrassment can't kill you, colon cancer can. Colonoscopy, some young people, especially girls, may not like to take a colonoscopy because something has to be inserted from the backside to get a image called colonoscopy. So they will not like it, but that embarrassment is worth, because otherwise you won't be able to, without a colonoscopy, you will not be able to identify or diagnose certain diseases. These are just hilarious one. Just do it. Insert messages. humor related. This is a moral appeal. I am not a punching bag. Child abuse. Again, fear. And the moral appeal. Don't drink and drive. It's mostly moral appeal. Advertising for social causes. These are slice of life, I said. These are called slice of life ads. Day-to-day life events are featured in advertisements. More lively slice of life advertisements. Select advertising media. Decide on level of reach, frequency, and impact. Choose among the major media types and considering consumer media habits. Select specific media type vehicles. Decide on media timing. You know, as I said, to advertising media, you have to when you select a channel, and again you have to see how. So if you want to reach the national level audience, then you go for a national TV channel. But if you want to have some specific crowd you want to gather, then you may use some local channel or channel that is more popular in the western side. So it depends on your audience and the reach. Reach is the percentage of target audience that you want to reach. Frequency is how many times that you show in a day a particular ad. Say when you increase your frequency, there are probability of your potential or target customer seeing the advertisement more, because you have for a day you are showing it 2-3 times than showing it one time. So read on this. So major media types, as I said, are newspapers, television, direct mail, internet, radio, magazines, and then measurement, communication efforts, copy testing, measuring sales effect, pulses and past advertising expenditure. So you measure either any impact that you have got or into your communication. Then the second part or second tool in the will finish after this, personal selling. Personal selling is the after advertising. Personal selling is the next tool, which is again a very effective tool, the most effective tool, it says, for building buyers' preferences, convictions, and actions. Personal interaction allows for feedback and adjustments, relationship oriented. Buyers are more attentive. Salesforce represents a long-term commitment, most expensive of the, personal selling. The disadvantage is you can't go to all the customers in your company, in your bank, and talk to them personally. But it's very effective, and it is two-way, because when you talk to the customer will ask questions. It's very effective because it's two-way, not like advertising, which is a one-way method. But but it is very expensive, because practically you can't go and meet all the customers one by one to promote your products. Right? So but to some extent, personal selling can be done. Personal selling, there are stages in your personal selling process. First, prospecting and qualifying. What do you mean by when you want to say target some say a professional doctor to market your product? So what do you do? Prospecting, identifying potential customers. Say you have identified 10 doctors around your branch to go and talk to, and prospecting and qualifying to identify and try to gather information about those people, where do they live and their addresses and type of business they do, type of income they if you have that information. So that is once you decide on a certain selected customers to personally sell, and you do a pre-approach and prospecting these customers, learning as much as possible about a prospective customer prior to making a sales call. Before you go and meet a customer personally, try to gather information as early as possible. You can search in the web, you can call somebody and ask discreetly about the person, and like that. You have to study and go. You do some homework before you're going and talking to a high potential customer, high net worth customer. It can be even a corporate, it can be even individual. Whoever you're going to go and sell personally, because you are going to individually meet the person or team of persons. If it's a company, maybe a team of persons. If it is individual, you just one-to-one. Then approach is stage where the salesperson meet the customer for the first time, and then presentation and demonstration. Then you go and present your details, benefit of the product, and so on. Then handling objections. This is the most difficult part. There will be questions. It's a one-to-one. So unless you know very well about your product, not only you know your product, but also you should know the competitor products as well, because the customer might say, you will have this product, but another bank has this. So tell me, what is the difference? Why should I buy from you when other bank product also giving the similar benefits? So then how do you handle? That's called handling objections. So if you don't know if you cannot highlight your product against the competitor product, then you won't be able to close your deal. You understand? So as a salesperson, therefore, when you go and talk about something, you should know about your product, you should know about the competitor similar products or substitutes products in the market. You know about your company, you should know about your competition and their strategies. I mean, so a lot of knowledge is needed. So if you want to do a professional personal selling, you have to follow these steps. There are 6 steps. Preparation before meeting the customer, collecting the information, and then going and presenting and handling objections or questions, handling questions the customer will ask, and finally follow up and ensure that you get the business, and even after that you follow up and see whether that you remember that customer post-purchase evaluation also will have to be more positive towards right. So at that point we will the time is 5:30. So now we have done 2 promotional mix elements, advertising and personal selling. There are 3 more to be done, and I will try to give you a case. Now we have to do assignment for final exam. In addition to the exam, there will be a case. There's a case study or the assignment where you need to prepare a project report. We'll try to give that next week. It's regarding some current topic. for the banking sector, and we have another one two to go. So on the customer service quality. After that, we can do some questions and answers. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can SMS me. My phone number I have given 0777 587 863, and I have given my email address also, rmpdayavans@gmail.com. So all that is possible. Read your notes and log on to internet and search for certain topics that we have discussed. Watch YouTube clips on marketing topics. There are a lot of thousands of YouTube clips on marketing subjects, marketing concepts. Then you can get some additional knowledge, because this few hours marketing is a fairly broader subject. It's difficult to tell you all that within few hours of lectures. You have to do a lot of homework, self-studies, if you are keen to develop more knowledge or increase, gather more knowledge on the marketing subject. So that's my message. Then thank you very much. We'll see you next week.